twice. So yeah, it's a whole nother world.
Well, gates down on this first moto of the WMX class as we are off and rolling. And, you know, again, you know, you've got your favorites, you got your ones that you expect that are going to do well, but you never really know until this gate goes down. And right now, is that the number 50, I believe we're seeing out front there, Viviana Contreras from California. Now, that's a girl I'm not real familiar with, to be honest with you.
She, I'm not terribly familiar with her as well, but, you know, you got to give respect to her. She's on a 250 two-stroke right now. So that's always cool to see. You love the two-strokes out there. But this is going to be a great race. Personally, I think there's at least 6 or 7 front runners that all have the capability of winning. And that always leads for some great racing.
I believe that was Hannah Hodges on the 17 Gas back in the number 2 spot there out of Pearson, Florida. We saw exiting the 10 Commandments, but it's still that early leader out there. The number 50 machine still holding the down the.
I could be wrong, but I want to say number 3 spot is Sophia Phelps, which is last year's winner.
And she's in a good position to get things started as well as we continue this first lap. It's always really confusing. You can look at it at one turn and then a third way around the racetrack. Yeah. I mean, you pass 10 people and you don't know how.
If it looks confusing to watch, I promise you, it's very confusing for us when we're out there riding, especially if you don't get a good start and you're trying to come through the pack.
Isn't it amazing how fast things happen, though?
Oh yeah, I went to Colorado for the National this year, and I started way back on the LCQ, and I made my way into like 5th by the end of the lap. And my dad came back to me after the race and said, "How did you do that?" I said, "I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember the passes. I don't know what happened. I was just riding the dirt bike."
Well, there you go. You need to ride your dirt bike more often, it sounds like.
I do, and I believe I made a mistake. I don't think that's Sophia Phelps. I believe that's Kylie Stallings in second or third.
Viviana Contreras in the number 1 spot. She got the early lead in this one and has not looked back. That is Stallings in the number 3 spot. Katie Benson, another girl with some off-road credit to her background as well, in the number 4 spot. Taylor Allred in 5th. Corey Steed, Jamie Ostadillo, Sophia Phelps is 8th. Shelby Rowland in 9th. And Aurora Schmelian in the number 10 spot. That is Hannah Hodges once again in the number 2 position on the 17 machine, as she's still got her head down and charging. But look at the ladies behind her, Stallings, Benson, and Allred. They all look pretty hungry right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to look out for the number 34 of Taylor Allred. She is looking to fix the mistakes and stuff that she had last year. She wants that win bad, and she's going to push hard for it, just like the rest of these. And I do believe Katie Benson made the pass on Kylie Stallings.
So riders making their way through the red zone now. Whoa!
I was just about to say she looks like she's a little off the back end of that bike. If she catches her foot just a little bit, it was going to pull her down. That corner was super deep yesterday.
Yeah, and
those ruts in it right now are gnarly.
Yeah, and it took its toll on Stallings, so she's going to lose a few spots. I'm not sure how quick she got back up, but that should move up Benson, Allred, and Steed at least.
It did not look like. I'm still seeing a yellow flag, actually, so I don't think she's up. Unfortunately, that's one of the downfalls of being on the shorter side.
Yeah.
And falling in some really deep ruts, it makes it difficult to get the bike up and get moving.
Can't get help.
No.
Did we have Viviana Contreras on the radar coming into this race as a front runner? This is impressive.
Actually.
Okay, good scouting here, Jordan Jarvis.
I do tend to keep a good eye out on this racing. You know, even though I might not be racing out here, I am still, you know, hopefully fighting for somewhat of a pro women's class to come back. And these women out here that are doing such a phenomenal job are helping me make a case to bring it back.
I like the style, too. She's standing up, coming into the corners, looks good, and getting away. About a 3-second lead after 1 lap for Contreras. Then you got Hodges here and Katie Benson. This is second and third. Benson closing in on Hodges. Here we go toward the billboards. Let's see if Hodges can hold on. Benson tracking her down.
Hannah is fairly known for holding up pretty well under pressure. Katie looks like she's pushing extremely hard right now, and when you're pushing that hard, it is not.
Man.
Dang, that was a good pass, but it's not hard to make a mistake when you're pushing that hard.
Using the outside to make the move, bike kicking all over the place. Katie Benson wants to go to the front.
Well, I tell you, she's found and seems to be comfortable on that ragged edge, kind of, so to speak. She knows she's got to dig deep, and she sees the 50 of Contreras getting away, so She gets by Hodges, and she's got her head down and charging. I really think that she believes that she might be able to bridge that 6-7 second gap that she's looking at right now.
I'm still looking for the number 4 of Taylor Allred. I know she didn't get the best start, unfortunately. And I actually, real quick to interrupt myself, is that? Okay, no, I thought that was still Kylie Stallings down. It's not. But, you know, I'm really looking for Taylor to step up in this next part of the race. She didn't get a very good start. You can kind of see her in the background right now. But I'm also looking for the number 56 of Sophia Phelps, last year's winner, to make a show.
You see those random bad starts with the random gate picks in Moto 1 for sure. So some of the big names are having to work their way forward. But are there any answers for Viviana Contreras in the lead on the number 50? And the gap's pretty sizable. It's going to be Benson now in second to track her down this time around. Here comes Allred. We might have a battle here between Hodges and Allred. Oh, and Hodges dumps it.
Same thing again. Typically with your smaller riders, height-wise, it's very easy for them to make a mistake and fall. All it takes is a quick dab of the foot, and that dab just pulls you straight down. And if you're not really tall enough to, you know, muscle your way through it, or even put your foot down and plant you to pull yourself back up, it's very easy to make a mistake and fall over. And that's honestly, that looked identical to what happened to Kylie Stallings.
So tough break for Hodges. Taylor Allred is into third now.
It looks like that's Corey Steed just behind Taylor Allred.
It is.
Steed, everybody's favorite mini cycle racer. I know when they have the big mini bike races, they're all drawing straws. I want her on my team. She can rip on a mini bike, GNCC, and right here at Moto, there she is, 41, starting to close in. She the Trail Jesters team,
Yep.
right? Trail Jesters team,
yep.
which develops a lot of talent for KTM in the off-road side, and helps some motocross riders out as well. Corey does it all, and she's closing in right now.
She's got some good experience here. You know, like I said, I raced against her for, oh gosh, I can't even tell you how many years. When we were here on the little bikes, I'm sure you called
really?
some of those
Probably
races.
did, yes, probably did. Probably was last lap,
Super
last
Mini
Moto
days.
crazy battles.
Yeah, it's Super Mini days. So it's
In the regular Super Mini class too.
in the yeah.
Whoa, no, the leader.
Oh no,
No, that's
Kate
Benson. That's
Katie, I'm
Benson,
sorry,
second place.
I thought we were watching.
Oh, that was a
Viviana.
hard hit.
That was.
That's going to be hard to recover from. I mean, she hit the dirt,
The hardest
lawn dart
part
style.
actually is going to be to get herself turned around those ruts.
Yeah.
That's the same corner Kylie Stallings just fell in.
Almost went down again.
Those ruts, they'll get you. If you're not careful and if you're pushing too hard and you're not paying attention to where you're positioned on the bike, they'll get you.
Those ruts are so deep now. Okay, we saw earlier in the day, Ryder DiFrancesco pretty much got stuck into a dead stop. And then he took the rut the next lap, and that did not happen in the same exact. So is it literally lean angle?
It is. It's
Yeah.
all it takes is just to be leaning just a little too far, maybe positioned upward a little
Yep.
bit, and it's going to completely change your positioning of where your tires are
Yeah.
going into the rut. Maybe if you're leaning a little too far over, your bike's going to go actually higher in the berm of the rut, so that's going to make you stick a little bit more. It's such a fine edge that you have to get used to riding and figuring out.
Crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
same exact line, 2 laps in a row. It looked totally different. And we go back to Contreras, our leader. I mean, she is checked out, and her lead's going to be even bigger now because second place Benson. Man, Benson went down hard. I'm impressed she got up at all. Like she was scrambling right back to the bike.
These women out here, you know, it's the same thing. They're honestly, in my opinion, we're one of the toughest ones out there. You know, we don't get a lot of recognition for it, but a lot of these women, they push hard for it. You know, you see some gnarly crashes, and we get up from it most of the time.
Benson's proven that point. Go ahead, Rodney.
Oh, I was just saying 5th place for Katie Benson. I mean, that's kind of remarkable if you think about it. I mean, as hard as she went down and the struggles that, you know, had to get turned back around. So dropping from a 209 to a 231, she may have a little bit of time to make up another position or two. So I wouldn't count her out yet for a Moto medal.
Yeah, could still make a podium run. I'll give you the top 10 rundown right now. You got Contreras in the lead, Allred second, Steed third, Sophia Phelps fourth, Katie Benson after the crash is fifth. Hodges had her own crash. She is in, she's seventh now. Jamie Astudillo is sixth. Alicia Goggle eighth. Brianna Sheltema ninth, and Shelby Rowland is rolling out there in the top 10. And we're halfway through this one.
I think this just proves even more, and I was really guilty of this when I was racing here. I couldn't get a start to save my life, but Vivian.
Is that all races or just Loretta's?
Oh no, I'm not a very good starter.
Oh, in general. Okay, all right.
No, I'm working on it. But here it's such a big difference. I mean, look at Vivian Contreras. She has the whole shot, and she pulled out a gap and stayed ahead of all of the carnage, and she's now got almost a 13-second lead over Taylor already.
Man, she is absolutely flying. She's 3 seconds a lap faster than the rest of the field. So when did Contreras first get on your radar? When did you first notice her, hear about her?
I've been kind of hearing about her here and there. I do still pay attention to the other amateur races as well. I hear some other people talking about it, and when I hear, some other of the top runners talking about it, it kind of gets my interest going, and I make sure to listen for that name. And that was one of the riders I was looking at in practice yesterday, was her. And obviously, the two-stroke, she's going to draw some attention. You got to love the two-strokes. So that definitely caught my attention some more. But I did watch her yesterday, and she did look good. And I don't remember who I was talking to, but she was on my list for
good scouting on your end. I mean, she's got this thing. If she can just hold on to it, it's her race to win or lose. Allred was riding well to get the second, but still about a second off on the lap time. And look at the gap. There's Allred on her traditional 34.
It looks like she did pull a little bit of a gap back out in Corey Steed, so I think we might see Taylor start to click off some more good lap times now that she's not under pressure. When you're under pressure like that, you can't hit the lines you want to hit. You have to be protective about everything, and unfortunately, a lot of that time, those ruts aren't the fastest rut.
Man, none of those ruts are fast. I mean, it looks nasty.
That's what I was talking to these guys. I just turned off the mic and I said, look at the amount of lines. How do you make a choice? How do you know which line to choose and commit to coming down through there?
I mean, a lot of it comes down to having paid quite a bit of attention on site laps. But me personally, probably not the smartest on my part, but I typically go for the very inside or like the deepest rut on the inside because I know nobody else is going in there.
Oh, because no one else is going to be there. Okay.
That, and I love ruts. I love ruts. Like at the Colorado National, that very inside by the mechanics area, I went through that inside almost perfect every lap. I don't know.
So you look forward. You see it as an opportunity.
Yes.
Not as, I got to get through this thing.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely where I felt I was one of the strongest on the track, was through the ruts. A lot of times you'll see women typically try to avoid them or go to less of a rut.
Yep.
So, I mean, that was always one of my stronger passing points. And I think we've seen that same corner claim 2 riders so far.
Yes. Yeah, that was a rough one. Well, you need to find alternate lines because you said you're not a good starter. So I guess it all comes into play.
You got to make it work somehow, right?
You got to find somewhere to get around. I think the battle we're watching, is Phelps and then Steed, I believe. That's your battle, right? I was watching the 41.
Yeah, I think
so. And then the Kawasaki is Phelps. That is 3rd and 4th. So there's some motivation here, everybody. It is for the podium in this moto. We have 6 minutes to go. Almost off the track goes Phelps.
So actually, Phelps
won.
Phelps got that lap. She got that pass on Corey Steed.
She did. Yep.
She's now 2 seconds behind Taylor Allred, and Steed is behind 2 seconds behind Phelps. So if
Phelps champ last year, right?
She did.
Yes,
yep.
Exactly. So she's starting to make things happen, get herself back in title contention. And look, Allred is not that far ahead. This is second place.
It's going to be a slight mistake, and I want to say last year it came down to the final moto between Allred and Phelps. So this is going to be a good battle. There's obviously some unfortunate issues that happened with Taylor, but she wants to win. So if she gives this up, that's going to make her week a heck of a lot harder.
There's going to be some serious motivation here as Phelps starts to close on Taylor Allred for second. But they've also got to solve the riddle that is Viviana Contreras, who is long gone. A new and very strong factor in this class. Phelps is closing the gap. We're going to have a battle on our hands here.
I don't know if you just watched, but that same corner that we had Katie go down.
Benson go down, yep.
Taylor actually ended up going fairly wide, and Sophia stayed somewhat towards the middle and made up a good chunk of time. A lot of times you will see that happen in the women's race, but a lot of times there is some really deep ruts that are wicked fast. You just got to be brave enough to get through it. Yeah.
Willing to do it.
Yeah.
And Phelps is. Here comes Phelps. part of a real strong contingent of riders coming from the Idaho and Utah area. They talk a lot about how gnarly and rutted the tracks that they race in Utah are, and that definitely pays off when we get here to Loretta's. I know like Chance Hymas, for example, comes to that same, it's called WMX, I believe, is a series that they race there in Utah, and riders from Idaho will come down for that as well. They get a lot of practice on rough track and ruts, and Sophia Phelps is closing in on all red right now.
How about the number 21 of Kylie Stallings getting back up onto her screen, running about 13th right now after being down for a while.
Yeah, she lost a lot of time.
Yeah,
after
she was down for a while.
2-lap card is out for Contreras. I'm going to head down to the podium, and we'll see how this Allred and Phelps battle for second plays out for the last lap and a half.
Well, after 7 laps of racing, Viviana Contreras in the number 1 spot, Taylor Allred second. Sophia Phelps is third on the 56. Corey Steed, now the 41 machine in fourth. Katie Benson running about 13.6 seconds back in fifth. Jamie Ostadillo, the 69, in sixth. Gas rider number 17, Hannah Hodges in seventh. Eighth place, Brianna Sheltema, the number 15. Ninth place, the number 12 of Shelby Rowland and Ignacia Riveros, the number 83, checking in, I believe, in 10th. And looking to see, did we see? No, we didn't see a change there in our top 6s. They are the only ones checking in so far with 7 laps complete. As we watch our leader here on that number 50 machine, Wildomar, California, Fast House, Pinnacle Racing, as we said. So she's
had a phenomenal moto. I mean, very, very few mistakes that I've seen.
Right.
And that's what it takes.
Absolutely.
That's what it takes. I was telling one of my friends down in staging earlier, if you can stay up and stay smooth, you're going to do fairly well. And that's exactly what she's done. She's gotten a great start. She put herself in a great position right off the get-go. She's just holding strong right now. They're coming into some lappers right now. Choosing some pretty good lines to get around them. That's another big thing that we have to worry about in the women's classes. Unfortunately, running into quite a few lappers and being smart.
And it's not like you run into 1 or 2. You
packs
run
into them in packs.
It'd be easier one at a time, obviously, but I think white flag coming out this time around, because when you get them in packs, they're in their own battles, and then you come up behind them, and they think that you're another rider that's trying, and so they fight with you. Yeah, they do, and
it makes it tough. You don't want to get close to anybody, but it is what it is. But I think I'm starting to look for that battle between Taylor Allred and Sophia Phelps, because they are less than half a second apart.
Yeah, that battle's already here.
Oh, yeah.
34 Allred, 56 Sophia Phelps, second and third. The war wages on as we roll through the final lap of racing now. So this is big news right here. There's the 34 machine.
Now this is a huge spot for Taylor and Sophia Phelps. Whoever gets second spot is in great contention still for the championship. Now, obviously, if you do get third, you are still in championship contention, but second place makes it way easier and takes a lot of stress.
I think Allred, is that Allred there, or are we looking at Viviana? That's Viviana.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering, I thought maybe Taylor had dropped Sophia Phelps through some of that lap traffic, but maybe not the case. We'll see if we can pick her up visually out here, out of the window. They are running just a little less than 10 seconds off the pace of our leader right now.
I think Sophia may have possibly gotten her. I can't. There's a Cowie, a KTM, and then a Cowie.
And then a tree.
No, okay, so it looks like Taylor Allred still has that spot. Maybe the lappers did end up helping her out a little bit, but Sophia is not giving up. She understands how important this final lap is in that last spot.
Well, Viviana facing some troubles with some lap traffic there, some going down, but able to get by as she finds her way into the heart of this Loretta Lynn's race course, rounding the Polysport Pond around the Thor sweeper now, and heading into that Bermuda Triangle for the hard left-hand turn and the drive home and the win in Moto number 1 here in the WMX Moto 1
last quarter battle going on right here, and I want to say Taylor's going to keep that, but awesome job for Vivian Contreras. I want to say this is her first win here ever, as far as I know. But that was a great battle. Taylor, stuck that out.
She sure did.
That was a phenomenal charge on Sophia Phelps. And how about Kylie Stallings making it back up into 9th?
That is impressive, and she may have gotten another spot there. Actually, we'll look a little bit closer, but Contreras, Allred, Phelps, Benson, your top 4. Corey Steed rounding out the top 5. It appears with Hannah Hodges, Shelton Rowland, Stallings, and Ignacio Riveros rounding out the top 10. We'll keep an eye on that just to make sure here in just a moment. But whole shot, I guess you could say wire to wire for Viviana. And we haven't seen that a whole lot. It's happened a couple times, but not a whole lot. So right now, Benson does check in with the 9 laps complete. 4th place, Corey Steed also with 9 and secures 5th. Hannah Hodges in 6th. Sheltima Rowland and Kylie Stallings and Riveros to round out the top 10.
Now this was a great race for Fox Racing. There's 3rd, Sophia Phelps wears Fox, Katie Benson wears Fox, Brianna Shelma wears Fox, Shelby Rowland, Stallings, and Brivio, all Fox. Majority of the top 10.
All Foxes. Is that what you're saying? They're all Fox riders?
Yeah. I'm serious. A good portion of them are all Fox riders.
And that's cool. That's good to see them representing. And
Fox does well for women. Fast House, I think you said.
Yeah, Fast House.
All right, that's enough racket up there in the podium. We were taking it here at the podium. And how about this? We got another name to throw in the mix of potential champions here at Loretta's. Stasic Holshot, dominant gold medal, Moto win. Let's hear it for Viviana Contreras. You had them covered, at least in this Moto. Did you expect that coming in? What was your confidence like coming into this week?
Well, first I started off with a 33 gate pick, so I was a little scared there. So I knew I was going to have to wing it from the outside and just give it all it's got.
You got the whole shot with the 33rd pick?
Yeah, 33 pick. I was a little worried there.
Okay. After that, you're riding really well. I mean, how are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. I was checking behind me every time to see if they were behind me, but they were on me, pushing me. So I had to keep it going and just try to ride in and hit my marks.
What's your experience here at Loretta's in the past?
I've got 9th both times in the women's class here, so.
And now you got a Moto win.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Who do you want to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my family, my mechanic Travis, Pinnacle Racing, ASV, Bray, Trim Wholesale Lighting, Rock Oil, Bray, and Throttle Syndicate, Moto Cuts, and ODI, ASV, and everybody else I forgot. Thank you.
All right. Welcome aboard to the podium, Viviana Contreras. Couple of 9ths and now a dominant Moto win. How about that? We'll bring up our 2nd place finisher, and this was a battle to the end for this silver. And Taylor Allred is going to take it by a narrow margin to keep herself looking good for championship contention as the week goes on. Here is the silver for the Orange Brigade KTM rider, Taylor Allred. Good to see you again. Gnarly last couple of laps. Phelps was behind. You weren't going to let it happen.
Oh, yeah, that was so sick. The first lap, Hannah and Kylie both went down. That was a bummer. And then just tried to put down steady laps. And those last 3 laps, Sophie was catching me, and we both came into the 10 Commandments. And I just held it on a little bit more, but it was super fun.
All right. Who do you want to thank, Taylor?
The whole KTM Orange Brigade crew, my mom, my dad, Fly, 100%, Dave Janolfi, Monster Army, Pro Taper, just anyone else. Thank you.
There it is. Let's hear it for Taylor Allred, 2nd place. And last year's champ ends up 3rd in the Moto. That was hard fought, working her way back. And we'll talk to her about the bronze. We'll bring Sophia Phelps on up. There we go. Well, we got quite a championship scenario set up. A great battle down to the wire with Allred and Phelps. And Viviana Contreras making a name for herself. One of the great personalities in the game. Let's hear it for Sophia Phelps. We'll give it a second here as the thunder clears behind us. All right, first of all, let's start. Was that the gate pick that got you?
I'd like to blame it on the gate pick, but I probably just could have had faster reaction time. The gate pick wasn't ideal. I was far inside, but I was like, let's make this work. My pro circuit motor is so fast. Holy moly. I knew, I was like, okay, I can at least pull something good, hug tight around that inside corner, and then try and like blast down the outsides of the straightaways. So it was good. I was happy with the start that I ended up with. It put me in a really great position to start battling forward. And we did it. It's warm out here, but I'm happy to be here. And yeah, grateful for all the training that I've done with Kyle Lewis this summer, as well as RMX Academy. They've been really helpful with that.
Yeah, talk about that little riding scene that you guys have in the Utah and the Idaho folks come down. You got something special going on over there.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they think of, Utah and Idaho, they think just like snow, and which we do have snow. I live in the southern part of Utah, so it's very deserty, a lot like Arizona. So in the winter, the RMX is the race series. They come down to southern Utah and parts of Nevada, and we ride during the winter, and then we slowly work our way up in the spring, and in the summer we train in Idaho. So it's back and forth, but it's pretty fun. It's a great group of people, and they prep the tracks just like this. So we're prepared coming in, which is awesome, and everything I could ask for.
Awesome. All right, who else do you want to thank there, Sophia?
Yeah, huge shout out to Rocky Mountain ATVMC, Factory Connection, Fox, Fast Company, Dunlop, Blended Up, CrossFit Dixie, Kyle Lewis MX Academy, Hinson, Pro Circuit, and yeah, all of those guys. Thank you very much.
All right, one of the great personalities in the game. Third place in this moto. She'll be back for more. Sophia Phelps.